SIMS here and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be doing another speed build. This one is a little bit different and I'm actually went ahead and built this shell here, and I gave myself the challenge of taking the shell and then going back to the build and actually making it into a fully formed home. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So this shell literally took me no time at all. I think the footage here lasts like 45 seconds. And I know when people do these type of things, like they get somebody else to make the shell or something like that, or even make it into a shell challenge. Now, at the minute, I'm not looking to make it into a shell challenge, so I'll put some pictures on here if you want to try and actually build this yourself just from the shell. So you can take these screenshots and use that to build it yourself, because I'm not going to put the shell on the gallery. The house itself, though, is on the gallery, and I'll come back to that in a second. So yeah, a lot of people make these into shell challenges. I have actually done a shell challenge before, but for today, I just wanted to do it like by myself actually, and I will be doing more shell challenges in the future because I think I've done one or two of them before and everybody really liked them, and I think it's a really great way to do something a little bit different on the channel as well, so I'll definitely be doing more of those, but for today I'm just doing, you know, one myself. And I was thinking, well, isn't that kind of cheating in a way, kind of doing my own shell and then actually doing the challenge itself from something I've already done? Because it's kind of like I could try and make it easier on myself, which I didn't try to do. And what I actually did was to try and make it a little, you know, just not feel like I'm cheating as much, is to do the shell one day and then I came back a little bit later on, so it wasn't really that fresh in my mind, and then started the build, and I think that was like a good way of working around it, so it wasn't, you know, a complete fraud. So that's what we're doing here, and like I said, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is Real Thomas TV1, and I'll also have a link in the description as well to the online gallery if you want to go ahead and download the build that way. And on the gallery I call the build Riverside Residence. I just didn't really want to call it like building this house, you know, building this shell into a house as the gallery name. It'd probably be too long anyway, and it wouldn't really look right, so I just called it that or something. And it has 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms in total, and I built it on a 30 by 20 lot in Willow Creek. Now, for the packs today, I did go kind of crazy. Now, you know, saying that, I do sometimes use a lot of packs, but from some of them I really barely use any items at all. So for example, I used Outdoor Retreat today, but from that pack I only used a stack of pots and pans, like a decoration item in the kitchen. So that's, you know, if you don't have Outdoor Retreat, then you still can download this house absolutely fine. And it only came in, like I said, 130,183 simoleons, which is really, really cheap. So don't let the pack usage, you know, put you off this build, because if you go on the gallery and you see all the pack icons, if you click on each of the pack icons, so say for example you don't have, I don't know, Eco Lifestyle or whatever it may be, if you click on that pack and it actually has an option to show you what specific items are being used in this build. So, you know, if you click on a pack you don't have, and I just use one decoration item, then, you know, you have nothing to really do. It's not going to make the build change in any drastic way. So if you still like the build and I've used packs that you don't have, it's worth using that feature to have a look and see what, you know, may go wrong if you download it, if anything, because if it's just little decoration items, it's not going to make a difference. And I've actually tested this myself. It sometimes doesn't really work that well, but the game actually replaces items for you as well. The only problem with that is that it doesn't really take into account colour schemes and things. So, you know, I've had like paintings being replaced, and it's got like a, you know, a base game painting with a black frame which doesn't match the light colour scheme I was going for, something like that. So, you know, you may have to change colour swatches here and there, but it normally replaces items, so it's not really much of an issue. Now, as I'm recording this, I do actually have early access now for Nifty Knitting stuff, so the embargo lifts soon. I'm not too sure if I can say the date on that, but it will be coming up pretty soon when I can start sharing my videos for that. So after I've done this voiceover, I'm going to start recording some things. Now, you know, as I've mentioned in previous voiceovers, I wasn't really too sure about this pack to begin with, just in terms of it not really being my particular playstyle and not really having many ideas of what I could actually do with this pack in terms of speed builds. So I do have 1 or 2 ideas so far, and I know I could just do a room build, but I don't really like to do those as much. I like to actually make a house build, so I've got something in mind for that. But if you do have any other ideas that you want to see with this pack being used in, then let me know, as that'd be really, really helpful to hear, because I am slightly struggling with ideas. You know, I think once I start getting into it, it normally flows a little bit better, but at the minute I don't really have as many ideas as I'd like written down, just for the fact of it not being a pack that I would generally use in my own gameplay. So I think that's really the reason, but I'm not going to worry about it too much, and you always seem to have really good ideas for builds for me as well, so, you know, if that ever happens as well, even not related to this stuff pack, you can always suggest them. I look through the comments all the time, and if there is anything, I'll always write it down in this list I have. It doesn't mean I'm definitely going to do that idea, but say for example I want to build something but I'm not really too sure what I'm in the mood to build, I'll go back to that list and have a look through. So if you ever have any ideas, and it's, you know, a really great thing just to suggest them, and I'll see if I can come back to them at a later date. So back to this build. This was actually pretty challenging. I thought me doing the shell myself, it would make it a little bit easier, because I kind of felt like I would probably not do diagonals and things like that, because I know I'm going to be the one working on it, but I didn't do that. But still, it was very, very challenging, and it was actually down to the floor plan. I don't really think the house itself on the exterior looks that bad. I think it looks sort of similar to some things I've done before, but on the interior, when it came to the floor plan, I just struggled so much, and I think there's a few reasons why. So firstly, I haven't really done that many videos recently. As you know, I've been kind of not doing, you know, 3 videos a week that I usually would do, and I have been taking a little bit of time off and not really pressuring myself that much to get 3 videos out a week anymore. And I really like doing that because I'm a lot more happier with the videos I'm putting out, not knowing that I'm having to rush to get 3 videos out that week when I may only feel like doing 1. And I know I've always been really understanding of that, so I'm really happy about that, so thank you for that. But, you know, I think the fact that I'm not doing as many builds and coming back to this, and it's been like a week or so since my last build, I think that was one of the reasons why maybe I was just out of the flow a little bit. So I think that was the first reason why I struggled a little bit with the floor plan. And secondly as well, I always find smaller homes to floor plan a little bit more difficult than bigger homes, because as you know, mansions is something that I really love to do, and just bigger homes in general really. So when it comes to smaller homes, I've kind of got to do what I normally do, but put it on a much smaller scale, and sometimes I find that really difficult to do, and today was one of those cases. So I should have done this on a 40 by 30 really, but you know, I still managed to make it work, and I think it still looks good. You know, I think the floor plan still works fine. It's just not really something I would usually do in a bigger home, if that makes sense. So I think that's really the only reason I'm doubting myself on that, but I think it worked out pretty well. I think the only issue I really have with the floor plan is where the dining table is, because I didn't really think to put a dining table in, or sorry, not a dining table, a dining room, because I know not all houses have a separate dining room. So I was going to put that in the kitchen, but then the kitchen itself ended up being too small for that. So I kind of just had to work around the hallway area, like the main entrance of the home, and sort of make like a little dining area out of that, which I don't think looks that bad really. I've seen houses before where the dining table is like right in the entranceway, which I don't really think is like a normal thing you would think to do. But it doesn't look that bad, so that's what I did here today. And you know, of course, if you download a house that I've built, feel free to change things up here and there if you need to make things work a bit better. That's absolutely fine. There is a study at the front of the build as well, so you could actually take out that study room and sort of make a dining room out of that area instead, because it is actually a desk area upstairs in the landing area, because there's quite a big hallway area upstairs. So I thought I'd fill that up with another study space. And also, just to let you know, my microphone setup is a little bit different today. I don't actually have my pop filter on, which I normally like to use, and it stops like really harsh sounds. But I actually took this off the other day because I had a job interview, and it was a Microsoft Teams thing with a video call, and that pop filter was getting in the way of the webcam, so I took it off just to make it, you know, a little bit more clean. But this is the first video I've done since that thing, and I went to put my pop filter back on before, and it's actually really old. It's kind of damaged now actually, so I was trying to put it on, but it wouldn't work at all. It was keep falling off, so I'll have to try it again another day. So this is like one of the first voiceovers I've done without a pop filter, so I'm kind of sitting back a little bit more away from the microphone itself to hopefully it doesn't pick up any of those P's and stuff like that really, you know, make the sound go horrible. So if that has happened, I'm really sorry. I will listen back to this voiceover afterwards and see how it was affected, if any, because I hope it hasn't, because it's much cleaner on my desk not having a big pop filter on. So hopefully you know, I can still use my microphone at a nice audio quality without one, so hopefully that's the case. So now we're just working on the upstairs area. Like I said, there are 4 bedrooms in this home, and I did actually do some personalised rooms today. I mean, there's only one that's like really personalised, and that's like a girl's kids room. As you maybe see, I think we'll work on that shortly. There's a master room, and then there's one room which has got like a green colour scheme going on with it, which I suppose you could take a personality from that, really, because sometimes I associate personalities with different colours as well, as a lot of people do. So that was something that I was thinking of, but it isn't really like, you know, personalised to any specific interest or anything. It's just like a green coloured room, really. So I suppose you could say that's slightly personalised. And then the 4th bedroom is just a very plain, neutral room with a double bed in it. And with that room, I didn't really have anything in mind for it. I was more thinking just like a maybe a guest room or something. I wasn't really too sure what to do with that. And because I do a lot of those neutral style rooms before, I just cut that out the footage. So I hope you don't mind about that. But there are 3 other bedrooms you get to see. But, you know, if I do cut out footage, because sometimes I do, for different reasons, really. Sometimes it's a bathroom that I've done, you know, because I like to do bathrooms the same mostly throughout the homes. And it may just be something that's a fairly repetitive thing to see in the video. Things like that. If I do take anything out, you always see screenshots at the end anyways, so hopefully you're not missing out on too much. And also as well, I did remember to put some bird's eye view pictures in of the build today. I used to do this, well, I kind of forgot to do it a lot of the time, but I did start to do it before we had the console version of the gallery, because I know a lot of people like to recreate the homes on the console, and having like a top-down bird's eye view of the floor plans really helps with that, which I'd really understand. And I know I'm kind of bad at forgetting to do that sometimes, but since we've got the console, you know, the gallery on the console, I haven't been doing that as much, as there's really no need for it. But I know I've still got some comments every now and again asking for that, so, you know, the problem is that I do forget to do it, so I did remember to do that today, so that's good. So that's it for today's speed build. I really hope you enjoyed. In the comment section down below, let me know about what you thought of this. Did I do a good job of changing this box into a house in The Sims 4? Let me know how you thought I did. Like I said, this is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and if you want to have a go at doing the shell yourself, then the screenshots of the floor plans of that are at the beginning as well, if you want to go ahead and attempt that. So thanks for watching. Leave a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!